Over 13 years ago, the Love Shadow murdered my father. I was too young to do anything about it back then, but now is the time to begin a new scheme. With this machine that I found deep within a corporation, I shall use it to go back in time to destroy the fabric of the Love Shadow's life. Or should I say Amethyst Love? My very own employer is the Love Shadow who murdered my father, Andrew Mercury. Maybe using this machine to go back in time to keep her from being with Khronostat might be the best revenge I could ever get on her. And while I'm there, I can take over the streets with my own gang.
I'm going to take you down once and for all, Anthony Baldwin. What you've done to me mother is completely unforgivable.
You know. Are you the one that they call Khronostat?
Shite. Who the feck are you?
My name is not important right now. I have come from the future to break some very bad news to you. Khronostat. I've come to tell you that you should not go and fight Anthony Baldwin. As a matter of fact, you should go with Warpwing to kill the officer to whom is neglecting to find the killer of your mother.
The feck are you talking about? Baldwin was me mother's killer. Why should I let that bastard go?
Because the same officer is going to end up releasing him from prison if you refuse to go after the officer. And Baldwin might not survive the night due to the fact that there's a citywide manhunt for him. So what you should do is join Wink in killing Officer Yade. You should maybe even romance her afterwards.
What? But I'm with Amethyst. Why leave her to Heather? I'm not even interested in her.
She's going to end up betraying you after you decide to go after Big Daddy Reaper after he gets released out of prison. You will be the literal downfall of the both of you. She will no longer feel the same about you if you try to kill Anthony Baldwin. But Heather, though, no matter what she says, she will always have feelings for you and will support you in whatever dreams you wish to accomplish. Doing her and killing Yade and take over Khronostat.
If the time traveler says that I must romance her, I better go change into something more nice.
He was struck. He fell. It was an accident.
Good evening, Khronostat, Louisiana, and welcome to the Channel 69 Evening News. I am your head anchor, Thomas Shakespeare, to whom is also the commentator for HDF Wrestling. Our top story: the body of Officer Yade was found outside of a construction site right on the outskirts of Khronostat, Louisiana. It is said that he had been pushed off of a deconstructed building and plunged to his death. 2 people were seen leaving the site. One was Warpwink, to whom is a criminal vigilante in this town, and the other is said to have been Khronostat, who was working with Love Shadow for the longest time. It is said that the 2 are in hiding and have started a new street gang that has been in competition with the Ballers and the Reapers and the Wiccans. Not much is known about this new gang, but as soon as we figure out what's going on, we will keep everybody here in Khronostat posted. Anyways, this is Thomas Shakespeare, and I'm signing off for the night.
Amethyst, you're a very sweet and kind girl, and my son has taken a liking to you. I really like you, Amethyst. If there is any girl in all of Khronostania that I would be honored to have marry my son, it would be you.
After everything she had put him through, why did Seth go off with Heather like that? This just doesn't make any sense to me. Why has my love betrayed me like this? I just don't understand. He also joined the forces of evil. Why has he left away from me and become evil like this? I wish I knew what was going through his mind. I just want him to come back to me. I want to be able to hold him in my arms once again. Just like I used to. Why has he betrayed me? I wish he would snap out of this and just come back to me.
My love, we've acquired the strongest stronghold in all of Khronostania. Not a single gang in this town could stand up to us. Now we can find Anthony Baldwin and crush him for good along with anybody else who stands in our way.
Yes, Queen Wink. But what is the plan after we kill Anthony Baldwin?
Well, Johnny Chankinsky really screwed us over. He was the ringleader of the attack on your mother, and I just wasn't going to be a part of that. So we're going to have to take down Chankinsky next. We shall take his powers and ascend into the afterworld. That way we can take full control over Khronostania and maybe even the world.
What a splendid idea, me dearest queen.
Seth really did this to you? I thought you guys were endgame. And of all people to leave you for, he leaves you for Heather Cottage?
I just don't understand it. I feel there is more going on, but I'm not sure. This all started after she spilled her guts to us about Chankinsky.
Wasn't Seth supposed to be going after Reaper?
He was supposed to. But he abandoned that objective and went with Heather to take out the officer. He never came back. Then I hear on the news that he and Heather formed an alliance with each other. I just don't understand it. I had just admitted to him that I had feelings for him, and Heather and I buried the hatchet between us. Why is this happening? Fuck! Shit! Seriously?
Amethyst, you gotta calm down. I know that you love him, but you gotta contain the rage. We're in a coffee shop.
I know. It's just that. He's the first boy I ever had real feeling for. Unlike many before him, I didn't have to kick his ass for being a fuckboy.
Maybe you should do some more detective work to find out what happened. I, just like you, think something is screwy about it. You may have to find Heather and kick her ass again, and make her tell you what the hell is going on.
I think you may be right. If I can manage to get around all the gangland shit, I can get to Heather.
So that's the spirit, Amethyst.
Hello there. Are you Amethyst, love?
Yes! Do I know you?
Not yet, actually. But if we can fix this paradox in time, you will get to know me years down the road.
What? Paradox?
Yes, mother. Paradox.
Wait! Did you just call me mother?
I am your daughter. Heart Love Valentine from the year 2020.
Valentine. That means...
Exactly. You were supposed to marry Seth Valentine. But something has went wrong in the timeline, causing father to run off with another girl and cause an incoming cataclysm for Khronostania.
So you know what is going on here? Tell me so I can fix this.
In the year 2020, you get control of your father's business after ridding him of the Chankinsky demon. But there was some sealed-off rooms under the building. One of your employees discovered a machine the Chankinsky built that was meant for time travel, but was never used. Your employee, Dustin Hall, has traveled back in time to ruin your future for the death of his father, Andrew Mercury.
None of that makes any sense, seeing that in the future, I still had no clue about a time machine. Wait a second. Dustin Hall is the leader of this new gang that moved into town. Fuck! That motherfucker.
If you want to get things back to normal, you gotta find Dustin Hall. The only person around here who may be able to help is Chenkinsky.
He and I are mortal enemies right now, especially since he issued the hit on Cleopatra.
It's your only option. Form an unlikely alliance with Chenkinsky to find Dustin Hall and get Father to stop being with Heather. I cannot help you because the machine is growing weak, and I cannot remain here. Save our world.
You. I bet you are here to seek revenge for the death of Cleopatra.
No! Though I am deeply enraged at the idea that you would arrange a gangster hitman to kill an innocent woman, I'm not here to fight you.
If you are not here to fight me, then what brings you here?
It's about Seth and Heather.
It's fucking sickening Heather would stop working for me and side with that boy like that. Now I have to sleep with one eye open. And now he's planning a complete takeover of Khronostania. How can I beat that?
That's what I've come here for. We've both lost a person in which we both need in our lives.
And what are you suggesting?
I'm thinking we need to band together just this one time to get what we need.
Seriously? You mean we go to the Temple of the Forgotten and get our partners back?
Yes! This is something that we have to fix immediately. Have you forgotten that Khronostat has the spirit of an Egyptian god looking over him? With them trying to ascend in the criminal underworld, that could be used to destroy all of Khronostania. Maybe even the world.
I'm not about to let somebody else take my prize. If anyone's going to take over this city, it's going to be me. With everything you've just said, I'll help you for now in bringing them back. Now let's get moving.
Good evening, Khronostania, and welcome back to the Channel 69 News. I am your head anchor, Thomas Shakespeare. We have more news involving the possible cataclysm of our city and possibly the world. We had just got news from Poinsett, Florida, where Tommy Hero, our only member of President Crump's Space Force, has turned against the fellow scientists at the laboratory at the Space Force, massacring every last scientist there, over 80 scientists, and has turned into a clown-like monster as a result. A little farther south of there, in Region City, where a bunch of protesters had been protesting outside of a record company, the ground began to crack as an army of demons or some kind of monsters have come up out of the ground and began to possess the bodies of these protesters as if they were vessels of some sort. These monsters have completely massacred the Broad Darkness agents. That includes Agent Mark Dark, the Emo Ninja, the Cosplayer, Sparkle, Justin Tripp, Yolanda Royce, Johnson Smith, and everybody else in the task force. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we truly need a hero to save us all. This is Thomas Shakespeare signing off for now. Who knows if this will be our last broadcast.
I know we usually don't help each other with stuff like this, but we have to keep this paradox from destroying our timeline.
What do you mean by paradox, Love Shadow?
Seth and I being together is what is keeping our world in balance. Without us being together, all things become evil. Our Earth's mightiest heroes have all aligned with the forces of evil. Our daughter come back from the future to let me know what had happened. It turns out that Dustin Hall was one of my employees from the future who used a time machine you built to ruin my life over the death of Andrew Mercury, who was his father.
That boy had absolutely no business messing with that. When I find him, I will personally kill that little bastard. We shouldn't be much further till we are at the location of the new fortress they built. I hope we can get this over with soon. You sneak through the front and I'll get the back.
Sounds like a plan to me. I will see you inside.
Stop right there, trespasser.
Seth? How could you do this to me? After I told you how I felt when we were out with your mother a week ago. Why are you siding with Heather?
Amethyst? What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. You need to leave.
I have come back to take you home with me. Seth, why are you even here? Why are you even helping Heather in this criminal underworld? Have you completely lost your feelings for me? Are you even here because you want to be here? I miss you, my dear Seth. You need to stop this madness and just come back to me. What I would give just to hold you in my arms one last time. Please, just come back to me.
I cannot do that, Amethyst. Since Heather and I are in the streets of that disgusting police officer, we now plan to take care of the rest of the gangs in this town, and then ascend to the afterworld to take over.
Seth. You can't do that. How could you let Sutk down like that? But most importantly, Seth. How could you let me down like that? Please come back to me. I love you.
What the fuck am I doing? Amethyst. You're absolutely right. I can't do this with Heather. And my feelings for you have not changed. I love you.
Stop, Amethyst. What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here while we ascend into the afterworld.
I was beginning to trust you, and you take him from me. Heather, what the hell were you thinking?
Shankinsky has been laying waste to this town for too long. He hired a hitman to take the life of Seth's mother. I was never told about this until it was too late. My feelings for him are so strong that I'm risking my own life to give him a world without Shankinsky in it.
But that's what I'm for. But primarily, I'm here to fix a huge paradox in time that we are about to face. Without Seth and I being together, the world will become wicked and evil, and all of life on Earth will slowly die.
But this is what I've wanted for my entire teenage life. To rule all of Khronostania while walking hand in hand with Seth Valentine.
And your so-called love for him is what's causing our world to perish. And if killing you is what's going to fix this, then that's what I'm going to do.
I'm no longer going to let you stand between me and Seth.
Not so smart, Chenkensky. You left your soul orb here in your office unguarded. Looks like it's time for me to harness its power and use it to destroy Amethyst's life.
So, you are this Dustin Hall that I've heard all about. If you think you're going to take over this city, then you are dead wrong. This city is mine and mine alone. Khronostania is mine.
But you don't understand, Chenkensky. I'm actually here to benefit you.
Oh? How so?
I'm actually from the future. If it wasn't for me coming back in time using an unused time machine from underneath a corporation, your hitman would no longer be on the streets. The ballers would all be dead at the hands of the Love Shadow, and the Love Shadow would have killed you by now. I'm basically here to ruin her future. I just thought you would enjoy that. And if you will join me, we can both take over all of this city together. Especially since I've taken your little soul orb as my own.
What? You snuck into my office?
Yes! All for the sake of killing the Love Shadow and ruining her future. I've already got her boyfriend playing for the forces of evil. And maybe you can join me in the Dark Turf. It's the army that I've started here in this time, to help kill the Love Shadow and avenge my father's death.
You altered the fabric of time over the death of your father. You single-handedly made the entire world worse than what I wanted it to be. And for that, I will never join you. I would much rather join forces with the Love Shadow to kill you rather than help you.
Look here. Something to eat.
I must get over there and keep Dustin from getting into the afterworld.
You were a fool to come down here. Now you must die.
You have done well in killing Dustin Hall. But that was supposed to be my target.
Thankfully, Amy talked some sense into me head. Looks like it's time to return home.
But that is where you're wrong, Seth. Since we're in the afterworld, I wish to stay here and take this place over.
What? What do you mean? You can't take over the afterworld.
Why worry with Khronostania when I can have the afterworld and proclaim it as Planet Jenkinski? You were a fool to let me follow you here. And you are the only one standing in my way to the road to godhood. So I must kill you.
Morning. Is everything okay with you, Amethyst?
Yes, Seth. But I did just have the weirdest dream ever. I had this strange dream that you left me for Heather Cottage. And it caused our entire world to go to hell. It felt so real.
Wow. That sounds horrible. I mean, why would I ever want to leave you for Heather, especially after she realized that this wasn't what she wanted anymore? Especially since she was one of your bridesmaids.
I know, right? That and she left to go to Regent City years ago. But then again, I just saw her a couple days ago on the night of Heart's first mission. But why was she there?
Your guess is probably as good as mine. But look at the bright side. We stayed with each other, got married, had a beautiful daughter, and taught her the way of the ancients to protect our city. We have done well with our lives. I would never leave you for anybody else. Never. I love you. You will never have to worry about anything going terrible between us.
I love you, too. So that actually happened. You used a time machine to chase after Dustin Hall and fix the timeline.
Yes, Mother. If I hadn't seen him, I wouldn't be here to tell you about it. From what I saw of that alternate timeline, that looked like hell.
Oh. Believe me, it was. But how did everything go back to normal?
Probably the death of Dustin. He didn't belong there in that year, so his death undid all that was done to the past. I really wish I could have stayed and fought by your side in your prime.
I may be retired, but I still have it in me to fight by your side, kid.
I know it. Now, let's hit the streets.